Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into the powerful marketing framework from Donald Miller's Building a StoryBrand. This is a method that's all about one thing: stopping us from wasting money and finally getting our message heard.
So let's just get right to it. Does this sound familiar? You are pouring money, hard-earned money, into marketing, but nothing's happening. The results just aren't there. And you're left looking at everything, just wondering, is it my product or is it something else?
As the book puts it so perfectly, pretty websites don't sell things. Words sell things. And that's really the heart of it. The problem so often isn't the product at all. It's the way we talk about it. If our message is even a little bit unclear, customers are just going to tune us out, no matter how cool our website looks.
Now, there is this powerful, invisible force working against pretty much every business out there. It's super subtle, but honestly, it's responsible for killing more great ideas and products than almost anything else. We're talking more than high taxes, more than a bad economy. And that enemy is noise. But here's the twist. It's not the external noise of the market. It's the noise we create ourselves. Yeah, we think we're marketing, but what we're really doing is just adding to the clutter, creating all this confusion that literally costs us millions.
So think about it like this: the difference between noise and music. Noise is just random, confusing information. It forces our brains to burn calories just to figure out what's going on. But a clear message, that's like a great song. It's simple, it's organized, it's memorable. Our brains are actually hardwired to ignore the noise and lean into the music.
And Miller points out two huge mistakes that turn our message into noise. First, we fail to focus on how our product helps customers survive and thrive. And second, we just make it too complicated. You have to remember, the human brain's #1 job is survival, and it has this built-in filter to just ignore anything that's confusing or doesn't help it achieve that goal.
This really all boils down to one simple, powerful mantra. If you confuse, you'll lose. In today's crowded world, clarity is everything. It's the difference between being a piece of furniture in a room and being the glowing exit sign. Okay, so if noise is the enemy, how do we fight back? How do we create that kind of clarity? Well, turns out there's a secret weapon, and it's one that's been grabbing human attention for thousands of years. And that weapon is story. You can think of it like a sense-making device. See, our brains evolved to find patterns to help us survive, and a story is the ultimate pattern. It takes a bunch of random information and neatly organizes it into a narrative that we can't help but pay attention to.
So, use a story? That sounds great, right? But how do you actually do it? Well, Miller gives us a simple, repeatable formula. And this isn't about being a creative writer. It's a practical, nuts and bolts framework for getting your message straight.
It's called the SP7 framework, and it's built on 7 universal story points that our brains are just naturally drawn to. It's like a well-worn path that we can use to position our products perfectly. This framework is basically the DNA of almost every story you've ever loved. First, you have a character. That's your customer. And they want something, but they run into a problem. That's the hook that gets our attention. Just when they're stuck, they meet a guide. And hey, that's you. The guide gives them a plan, a few clear steps that make them feel confident. Then the guide gives them a clear call to action, telling them exactly what to do next. This whole process shows them how to avoid failure and helps them picture what success looks like. It's not just a formula, it's a roadmap for the human brain.
Now, to use this framework, there's one really big mental shift you have to make. And I'm not kidding, this one change will transform how you communicate forever. It is the single most important adjustment you can make. And here it is. The biggest mistake brands make is trying to be the hero of the story. The hard truth is, your customers don't really care about your story. They are completely, 100% absorbed in their own.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Your brand is not Luke Skywalker. You are Yoda. You're not Katniss Everdeen. You're Haymitch. Your job is to be the guide, the wise mentor who has the plan and helps the hero win the day.
And when you make this shift, when you decide to be the guide, your role becomes so clear and your message gets so much more powerful. You stop talking about your company's founding story and you start focusing entirely on the customer's journey.
I mean, just look at the difference here. When the brand acts like the hero, it's basically competing with the customer for the spotlight. But when you become the guide, you stop bragging and start showing empathy. You demonstrate authority, not arrogance. And that's how you become someone they trust and want to follow.
And let's be clear, the stakes here are incredibly high. The path of failure means you just keep making noise, you get ignored, and you waste a ton of money. But the path to success, that comes from clarity, from being seen, heard, and truly understood by the people you want to help.
So really, the ultimate takeaway is this. When you clarify your message using story, you invite customers into a narrative where they are the hero. And that creates clarity, which builds a real connection. And that connection, that's what fuels real, sustainable growth.
So as you move forward from here, this framework is your blueprint. It gives you everything you need to shift the story from being about you to being about your customer. So the only question left is, what story are you telling? And, maybe more importantly, is it the one your hero, your customer, has been waiting to hear?